Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 76 of How Married Are You?
You're supposed to pause. My name's Belief in this event, and we've been married 9 years. We live in California and we have four kids. Relationships are scary and it's very necessary that we all of our struggles and we ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you listen and you're in the wedding party, sometimes deep, sometimes lighthearted. I don't know what else to say, so it's time to get it started.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Hey yo, chocolate baby story time. Check it. That's you right there. You missed that whole thing. Look at you.
You just got done telling me you don't think that part should be saying.
It's chocolate baby story time.
True or false?
When do you ever listen to me?
I try.
All right.
I'm so married I listen.
You go first, and I'm gonna get how I'm gonna go. You go first.
Okay, my chocolate baby story time is dun dun dun. So we have a house guest today or this week or whatever, and she's sleeping in Anaya's room, and so Anaya is sleeping in her brother's room. And the first night that Anaya was supposed to sleep in her brother's room, I don't know what happened, but there was a delay in getting her to bed. Do you remember why? I don't remember why.
She was sick, I think.
She had to have a breathing treatment. And so while she had a breathing treatment, her brothers were already like upstairs, laying around. And usually they take some time to go to sleep or whatever, but they didn't take very much time, because by the time Anaya was done with her breathing treatment and I took her upstairs to go to sleep, the boys were asleep. And she's so excited. She's like, "Hi guys."
Yeah.
"Hi guys."
Guys, talk to me.
"Guys, wake up." So I had left her in there. I was like, "Okay, Naya, it's time to go to sleep." And I put the covers on her, kissed her, closed the door. And then I started looking through the Wise cam, because I'm like, okay, what's going on? But she's just in there like, "Wake up, boys." I mean, what did she say? I don't know.
Yeah, she was like, "I want to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
Oh, yeah.
Like, "Winkle, winkle, little star." It was so funny.
It was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I kind of am thinking we should just put all the kids in one room and have a guest room.
For now.
Guest room / office.
They seem like they're doing really well together in that room. All right, so my chocolate baby story time is Anaya's birthday list. I sat down and I talked to her about all the things she wanted to do. And did you read this yet?
I don't think so.
All right, so number one thing she wants to do is write on paper. Second one is play with her mom. Play with her brothers. Play with her friends. She wants to have her birthday party at Sayla's house. She wants balloons on her birthday. Elsa balloons specifically. She wants a cookie, a cake, and to go to the park with mom. And I said, "Do you want to do anything with me?" And she said no.
What?
She said she wants to do something with me and mom, but not just me.
Oh my goodness, poor baby.
Sucks.
I'm so sorry.
It sucks. Cause I'm like, I thought I was like the guy.
Me too. I did too, for sure.
Yikes. Well, hey, this hurts, because I was really expecting to, I don't know, just have that like daddy-daughter relationship.
I will say that this morning, excuse me.
It is early, guys.
Sorry, we woke up early to try to record this. But what was I saying? This morning when I walked in the bathroom and she was so excited to see me, she just lit up. I was like, "Oh, you do love me."
Yeah.
Even though she treats me like dirt sometimes.
Yeah, you're the one. You're the one for her. And so,
which is exactly why I quit my day job.
Just for that, to walk in the bathroom and get someone to get excited. Good for you.
No, for my daughter, fool.
Good for you. All right, let's move on.
All right, it is Ask How Married Are You? Tuesday, where we are here for our wedding party. And so we have someone who called in. Yay! Everybody do yay. Okay, nobody saying yay.
I'm saying yay.
I heard it. Anyways, we have a voicemail. And again, if you'd like to call in and let us know what's going on in your life and any dilemmas that you might have, you can reach us at 760-335-6643. Again, that's 760-335-6643. And you can also leave us a voice memo DM in our How Married Are You Instagram. Or you can just click that link right here in the podcast and leave us a voicemail on Anchor.
Yep.
We take them all kinds of ways. So let's just go ahead and listen to this.
Hi, good Jasmine and Yvette. My name is Haley. I've been watching you guys' podcast. I've been watching Belief in Fatherhood for a little bit over a year now. And I love you guys. I love the positive image, the real, transparent image of what a black family looks like, what black love looks like, what communication looks like, even if you don't agree. And at 25, that's my problem right now. I don't know how to communicate my wants, my needs, and kind of where I'm going. And I feel like in this little mini life crisis at 25, I feel like I'm supposed to know where I want to be, know who I want to be with, and know what I'm going to do. And that is not the case. Like, my issue right now is that I'm a relationship hopper. And I want to be a wife, and I want kids so bad that it's affecting me and my little hopping things that I do. So if I'm with a man, and at any time I feel like he's not on my page, so I'm in between relationships, meaning my ex had stability. He had money, had a good job, he had a previous child, and he was previously married at the time. And my issue with him was he was older than me and I was younger. So the issue was that he felt like he did everything already. 30. I'm 25 now. He was 30 or whatever. And he was every little thing that I wanted, marriage, a kid, everything was stupid to him. Everything was so stupid, and why are you rushing this? We need to have this set amount of money before we do stuff like that. And, you know, in my opinion, I was like, no. There's never a perfect time to tell somebody something, and there's never a perfect time to just live. There's never a perfect time to just have kids and not to have kids. It's never a perfect time. Yes, you want to be stable, but we were already there, so I left him. I left him because he wasn't on the page I was trying to be on. And as a woman, we dream about weddings. We dream about having a nice family and stuff. And I'm already graduated from college. I've already, traveled a little bit. I've already...
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So... At 25, should you have all those things figured out?
No.
Why do you say no?
Because I didn't.
You were already married.
I know.
So you didn't want to be married?
Babe, you know my plan.
I understand.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast too. Like I thought I was going to be meeting my future husband at 25. I didn't think I was going to be married at 25.
So
and then
you were
I was
on
gonna
our
be
wedding day,
married
like
by
thinking,
30.
like, I don't think I want
No,
this.
fool. On my wedding day, I was in love.
Yeah,
I still am.
So, all right. So 25.
Yes.
I think she's talking.
Oh, you got married at 25.
Yeah. I feel like, but we also were talking to a 25-year-old last night. And
shout him out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. We were talking to a 25-year-old last night, and I think you're fine. I think she's having two different issues here. She's talking about her ex.
Yeah.
And she's talking about like her life and how she's a relationship hopper.
Mm-hmm.
What I see about what happened with your ex, I don't feel like that's a relationship hopping thing. I feel like you guys want different things, and that's okay. He's experiencing things from past hurts, so he's making decisions saying, I don't want to do this because this happened. And I think that's fair for him to make that decision. But a part of like being in a relationship and being married or moving forward, there's a lot of forgiveness and like reconciliation that you have to have with yourself in order to move on and have a full experience with the next person. The 25-year-old thing, I just feel like that's kind of normal, but also it doesn't have to be.
As far as what?
So
Not
she's saying she's a
having a figure.
relationship hopper, and she like does this thing where you know, she doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know where she wants to go. It seems like she has a pretty good idea of what she wants. She wants to be married. She wants to have kids and all those things.
And a nice wedding.
Yeah, and a nice wedding and all that stuff. But she's probably, it seems like she may be a little picky on like some of the relationships she's been in if she's constantly moving because that person isn't technically on the same page. Now, how important is it to be on the same page? What do you think? Am I tripping?
I don't know. I feel like it doesn't necessarily sound like she's okay. So here's what I would say. If you are seeing red flags, then of course pay attention to those red flags, you know, like go away. But if there are things like, I think we talked about this on the last podcast or the last Ask How Married Are You podcast. But if there are things like he doesn't wash his hands before he eats type thing, like that could be something that is
that's
just
a red flag. Corona's popping. That's crazy. If you wash your hands you ain't washing your hands before you eat, then you ain't washing your hands before you cook.
Oh my goodness. It was a hypothetical. I'm just saying like something silly like that versus like he doesn't want to get married and have children. Like that's big. Like you want to get married and have children. If someone is telling you that they don't want to get married and have children, if someone is telling you that they don't want to have children, don't think that you can change their mind, because I have seen relationships where people like, you know, get all the way to the engagement part and realize, you know, they really don't want children. So be careful with that one. But I think that's huge. Like those types of things you need to be on the same page about. You want to get married. You want to have children. You want to I don't know, travel. Like that's important.
But it seems to me that she's saying that she's a relationship hopper. So it's not always that one issue. So there's something wrong in every relationship. So sometimes it's the fact that they don't want kids. Sometimes it's the fact that, you know, they don't want to get out of debt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like she's hopping. I don't think every man she's running into is like, I don't want to get married, nor do I want to have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting. And I feel like, you know, as like this is just difficult, like in this season, but like I think what you need are realistic, you know, we'll say it again because we said it the last time, I think, you know, making that list of things that you think are, you know, like really important things and things that are high for you. For Yvette, I made the list, and you know, things that were really important to me is that she had to have friends. She had to have other people around her who loved her and she loved. She had to tithe. That was big for me. I didn't want to argue with someone about why they needed to tithe or why they needed to go to church, or, you know, something that was important to me, but not that important was like, I wanted her to have a car, not because I just didn't want to like have to rely on her to rely on me to take me everywhere. But
then you ended up with no car.
Yeah, then my car broke down and I had to ride a bike, and Yvette let me borrow her car, but I wasn't like waiting for you to pick me up all the time. Don't try to play me like that.
I just thought it was funny. Are you done with your thought?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
No, go ahead, finish your thought.
I was trying to think of more stuff that was on that list.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I also feel like in this day and time, if you're in the Christian community at all, or even if you're just in community, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on people to get married young. Like, I feel like by 25, there are a lot. Do you feel like this is a thing? Like it's an epidemic? Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic. But like, I feel like if I were still single, like there are people who are getting married at my age right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's this like underlying pressure that you have to be married and start having kids by a certain, like before you're 30 type situation. And I don't know if that's necessarily like supposed to be.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, everybody's thing is different, you know.
Was that a goal of yours? Did you want to be married and have kids before 30? Like,
well, I was like pressed on being abstinent, so I knew I didn't want to like be abstinent until, you know, I was 46. You know what I mean? But
nobody said anything. Okay. But
no,
if you are 46,
Yeah, but if you are 46 and a virgin, because some people are like that, and we have had people calling and tell us, and we like, well, I don't tell you. You know what I'm saying? I guess I was so like irritated with love that I was like, I don't even think I'm gonna get married. I was kind of like, this is kind of BS, and I was just like, you know what, Lord, whatever. If you want me to be with somebody, cool. I want to be with somebody, but not that bad. Like not enough to like keep getting my heart broken and like getting like, you know. Like I'm not like, so I just was kind of got fed up and was like, whatever. I don't really, I did expect to have kids eventually, you know, and to like, but it wasn't like something I was demanding on my life. I'm demanding on God.
So was there, okay, so you said you didn't want to be celibate until you were like 46, but.
I would.
But
yeah.
you would have.
Yeah. I think, honestly, I was getting so good at being single and like, you know, falling super deep into the hip hop stuff. Like I was actually like, I'm actually super effective and I can actually be alone. I was feeling that. Like I was just like longing for what they had. I didn't necessarily want it for myself. You know, it was more like jealousy or like I didn't fit in or I couldn't go on a double date. It was like me, the homie, and his wife. And I was sitting there like, you know, can we get some more guacamole? You know what I mean? And I got over that. You know, I wanted to have something of my own, but that's not in the cards for everyone. So what's your point?
My point is like, it's, I don't know if it's relationship hop. Like I feel like there is, and it's okay to kind of know what you want and who you want and the type of person that you want to be with. Mm-hmm. And I would just have a little bit more grace on yourself. Like you probably know for sure if you're relationship hopping, but also think about like why you're leaving each relationship behind. The last relationship that you described to us that you left behind, I feel like was a very smart, responsible decision to leave that relationship behind. And if those are the ways that you're basing your like your journey on, like if you're leaving relationships based on those types of things, then I think that you are doing just fine. And that you should just keep on going. Like, don't feel there's a pressure that, oh, I'm 25, because she called it a crisis. Mm-hmm, yeah. And I don't think you're necessarily going through a crisis. I think you're just 25 and you desire to be married with children, and you probably have several people around you who are married and starting to have children, and you're just in that season of life. But, you know, God's timing is the best timing. And so I feel like there's going to be someone that you're going to meet, and you're going to know, like, okay, this is somebody that I can spend the rest of my life with,
or at least a couple weeks with, you know what I mean, and then figure it out from there. Because I think, you know, what happens is we get so caught up on like the rest of our life or whatever the season is, and just, you know, like, yeah, it has to be for this long and you have to be committed to this. But really it's like, you know, you could do a lot with someone who's open, you know, like, hey, like, I'm scared of fatherhood, but I think I want to be a dad, but I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like, I think we are trying, like, I think it was one girl we were talking to or sent us a message, and it was like everything didn't line up, you know, and so it was frustrating. You know, the guy didn't, like, he had dad or something. It was like something like she kept saying all this stuff about the guy she was dating. She was like, nope. Or, oh no, he wanted to be celibate, but he didn't want to be celibate. Like, he was cool with being celibate, but it wasn't his thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think you can do a lot with someone who's open, because some people have never had the accountability that you have had. Some people have never, like, I wasn't a part of a community like Yvette had. I never experienced anything like that. So that was a different normal for me. You know what? You know, people coming over our house without knocking, that could have been on Yvette's list of, like, I don't want someone who's going to be irritated if someone comes over our house without knocking. You know, I mean, without calling first.
They have to knock now.
Yeah, but that's something I get. I'm like, why are you coming over here without telling me you're coming over here? You know, that's super big for me. But yeah.
But in the last like 48 hours, I feel like we've had so many people in and out of our home. It's crazy.
We were all expecting them though. Right?
I know, but it was a lot. And it like, I started to feel like it was a lot.
I didn't even realize.
Yesterday.
George came over.
No, I'm just saying. No.
Oh.
I'm just saying, by the end of the day yesterday, I was like, whoa, we've had a lot of people here. So I go through waves myself of, like, you know. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I think you're fine. Like, I don't think this is a crisis. I think you should just, I think one thing to do is to step back and make that list that Glenn keeps talking about. Like, I don't know. I didn't make a list, but I think it's something that is truly valuable in this day and time.
And maybe go to therapy, because I hear therapy is great. And I didn't go to therapy, but I hear it's truly valuable. You got another one?
Are you mocking me?
No, I'm not mocking you. I'm actually mocking Gabby. Remember you hung out with Gabby and then Jonathan?
Oh, yeah.
They're both
okay. So we did get to hang out with some members of the wedding party this
Boom.
weekend.
That's crazy.
Isn't that so fun?
They flew in town.
Yes. Tell about it while I get another
Yeah.
one.
So basically, there was a young lady. Her name is Gabby. And she said, hey, I'm about to get married. This is in December. And I really want to bless my husband with a wedding gift. And I think, a dinner with you would be really awesome for him. And she said, I work for, an airline, so we can fly out for cheap, and, we'll stay, and then, we'll just eat with you if that's possible. And I was like, man, if you want to go ahead and bless your husband like that, go ahead and bless your husband like that. That's crazy. But I'm not really the admin type. So getting me to actually pick a date was very difficult.
Yes, reach out to me, people.
She stayed persistent. So, but
Good
we're
for
not
her.
doing that anymore. We're not just
Okay.
gonna be having people coming in town. That was a trial thing. But we do want to. I want to commend her because she really blessed her husband. Her husband is creative and a writer, speaker, and podcaster, and he just wanted some insight and some stuff. So I sat down with him and we hopped on the podcast, and he asked me a bunch of questions and I gave him all the answers. We went out to eat. It was an amazing time. They were very sweet people and I really enjoyed myself. But we want to do that for someone else eventually. Mm-hmm. We want to have, another couple eventually come out and, us to kind of, meet some of these people and take them out and kind of have a double date type situation. So we're looking for ways to do that through our Patreon on How Married Are You? And so, yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, let me clear my throat really quick. All right. So we have another one. And this person actually reached out to me in our DMs and was like, hey, I think my email got lost. And so she brought it up to the queue. So if you're one of those people and you're waiting for us to answer your email and I haven't done that yet, please do the same thing because it's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, Yvette and Glenn, how are you guys? I am an avid listener of your podcast, How Married Are You? I enjoy your candidness and am a huge fan. I am writing to you both for some advice and or encouragement. I am already internally cringing at what I'm about to write. Sigh. So here's the deal. I am a 32-year-old single. She's probably older. No, I'm just kidding. She's not that older. Much older. I'm a 32-year-old single woman who has been single her entire life. You read that right. Not once in my entire life, except maybe in the 5th grade, have I ever been in a committed relationship. AKA, I have never had a boyfriend, which doesn't sound too bad initially, except when I tell you this. I have never even been on a date with before. Gasp. Some context. I am a Christian and have been for quite some time. Since I was 15 years old, I am very rooted and in my faith is... Oh, sorry. I am very rooted and my faith is strong. Since my teenage years, I have envisioned being married and starting a family. I went through high school and college with various crushes that never panned out to anything, meaning I had a crush and the other person did not reciprocate those feelings. Even went to graduate school and still nothing. Here and there, I would talk to guys, but literally would not be able to get past 2 weeks. Let me know if you want specifics of talking before things would end. During my teenage and early adulthood years, I would go out to various Christian events and concerts with friends, and not once during any of those times did I ever meet anyone. I have been involved and active in several churches over the years, and again, not once did I meet anyone. I have a great family and hang out with them as well by going out to the movies, to dinners, festivals, etc. No one ever approaches me or expresses interest. I say all of this to say I am not a hermit that stays in the house. I am an introvert, so my time out is a little limited, but I do not live under a rock. I do actually leave my house. Throughout my life, I have always had great friendships and my family adores me, so I am almost certain my personality is not trash. I know there are things about me physically that I would like to change and things that I am deeply insecure about, but I am not convinced that I am hideous. I have had people try to set me up. Most recently, 2 moms wanted to introduce me to their sons, which I was very flattered by. But again, didn't work out. Let me know if you want details on that as well. Trying not to make this a book. I have also tried online dating, actually paying for membership, etc. She has these things in caps. Currently, I am working as an ICU RN during night shift, which means during the day I am asleep, and on my days off, I am catching up on sleep. I absolutely love what I do, but I can't help but think that my job and lifestyle hinders me from meeting people. And before you ask, no, there are no cute doctors at my job. I work in a very female-driven area of pediatrics. So when she resent this email, she goes, don't know what happened the first time. Also, there is a cute doctor. That's another story for another day. So we'll have to have her right back in. But yeah. Anyway, I would like to get married one day, but I can't help but feel hopeless. I go through periods of feeling embarrassed about the fact that I have never been in a relationship. People at work talk about guys they are dating and then go to get engaged and then go to get married and have kids. And yet here I am just as single as ever. People ask me about my exes at work and past relationships, and I just change the subject because obviously I can't talk about those things because they don't exist. I work in the NICU and parents always ask me if I have kids or if I am married, and it stings. I know they are just being nice and want to know about my life outside of work. I understand the importance of not making relationships, marriage, and idle, and also understand the importance of finding my worth in Christ, etc. However, there is always this small nudge in the back of my mind telling me that something is wrong and that this is not normal. I'm just at a complete loss. Do you have any advice, thoughts, encouragement for me? I love you guys and highly value your opinions and thoughts. Thank you for reading. Poor girl. So I feel like I never had a relationship until. So I feel like I was in a similar boat. Like I was on the same track, right?
Yeah.
And then I did end up meeting a couple of guys along the way that
wasted your time.
Amen. And so if you can be gifted with the ability to like not have your time wasted, then that's awesome. However, I just want to address a couple of things first. Like you kind of going to the fact that you're not hideous or whatever. I feel like that is okay. Yes. I think everyone deserves to see the beauty in them, but I just also feel like even if you weren't, like, some of us are not as blessed with good looks as others. Does that make sense? Like some people are just like, you look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful. And then some of us are just like, oh, okay, hi type situation.
I don't know where you're going with this.
But what I'm trying to say is that we are all beautiful in our own ways. And there, you know, like it kind of was sad for me to read that part where she was like, and I know that I'm convinced that I'm not hideous.
Yeah, because she's trying to find the solution to
she's
the
trying to
problem.
realize, she's trying to justify, like, why have I not been in a relationship? Why has no one pursued me? And I don't know, I just feel bad that is one of the things on your list. So
You gotta stop.
I haven't seen you, but you are beautiful.
Yeah, I you know, I don't know. I feel like that is a blessing not to have your time wasted, you know, but I understand what it's like to long for something you never had before, or like be curious about love. And I think everyone should experience what it feels like to have that excitement of a first date type situation. And so she says she's never even been on a date, which is crazy to me. So I don't know. I have so many questions, but it's like, I don't know. I would say you should be encouraged just from the fact that, like, there's like so much hope, because I feel like you're hopeless, but there's still like the chance of a lifetime. There's chances that you can meet someone at any moment. You know what I mean? So that's awesome, you know, to just be able to look forward to something like that. But I don't think that this is one of them situations where you kind of count yourself as a loss and like you just remain in this place of like doubt. But I feel like, you know, I don't know, I kind of want to meet this girl for some reason. I gotta understand what's happening here,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I don't know.
I definitely, like, if I could encourage you, I would encourage you not to feel hopeless. I feel like, and you said, I know the importance of not making it an idol and the importance of finding my worth in Christ. And I feel like that is valuable. I feel like when I started to, it was kind of crazy because it was when I started to really focus on my relationship with the Lord and actually become content with the fact that I'm just going to be single or whatever, that Glenn came into my life. And it was one of those things where it was like, okay, Lord, what are you doing here? Because I literally just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't need a man, yada, yada, yada. And then Glenn.
You never did, I don't think. But that's the thing too, is like, I would ask people who have like, you have talked to or like almost got somewhere and just be like, listen, like, I know this is super weird and awkward, but I really have to know because, as you know, I've never been on a date. I need to know what's wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's wrong with
it's
me?
nothing wrong with her, but what they think is wrong. Like, why am I not? Because it's really like an assessment. Not that you should like extremely value something that someone else is saying about you, but at the same time, it's really good to know what you're not doing right or what you're missing. And I think that would be kind of courageous, but at the same time scary, like I feel like, because there might be something off, you know what I'm saying? There might be something off, or there might be everything might be right. And like, dude, like you're a sweet girl. I can't really tell you anything. I'm just not interested. You know what I mean? And you should know that. Okay, he's not saying that there's a weird smell. He's not saying that I can't dress. He's not saying that, you know what I mean? Because like okay. Here we go. So this is nothing to do with you, right?
He does not know you. Do not take it personally.
Yeah. But I've been hanging out with someone and the whole time, like I'm looking and like I'm talking to her and I'm looking at like her track. Just like in her head, like, okay, I know you looked in the mirror before you came out the house. You didn't see that. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm out. So I ain't going to work out. But not my responsibility to tell you. That's your homegirls, your mama. Your mama should tell you. Your girlfriend, the mirror should tell you that your track ain't right.
Hey, girl, thanks for your track not being right, because I got mine.
Yeah. Talking about my hair?
No, you.
Oh.
Like, if her track was right, who knows? You'd be married to her.
Oh. Yeah, no. Well, you know me. So, yeah, but it's like certain things. It's kind of like, I can't get with that, but I ain't going to say nothing because it's too awkward. But if you could have someone being like, hey, like, I really think you are beautiful, or I think, for me, this was the turn off for me. It may be a point where people don't feel like they may be intimidated by your faith. That's one thing too. It's like, sometimes people like, man, I'm intimidated. Some people are just really intimidated by, your beauty or, your disposition or like whatever it is about you that may come off as like being strong and like independent. That stuff is kind of scary to a man sometimes. And it's not that you need to pretend to be meek, but I do feel like you need to like be in a place where you're like, yo, like, hey, like, I think you're an awesome guy and I'm a very strong, independent woman, but I'd really love to, hang out with you. And this is the point where it's kind of like, all right, it's okay for you to pursue a relationship and tell her, hey, I'd like to take you out. That'd be crazy, but for like from a woman's perspective, but I think it's worth it. If you have a crush, don't let them remain a crush. You know what I mean? Like, just approach them.
That's true. That's very good advice, babe. That's very good. I don't know. Maybe we do need to have a follow up to this.
Yeah, we need to see. I need to see your Christian Mingle profile. See what's happening over there.
Yeah. So once you hear this episode, let's talk again. Send in another email because there were some things that I kind of did want you to elaborate on. So, anywho, we actually in looking through the emails, I found a voicemail. Someone emailed us a voice memo. which is kind of cool. But we have reached that point in the episode where we ask you guys, how single are you?
Yeah.
I think that some of you guys were anti how single are you, and a lot of you guys from the
pro.
wedding party who were probably single were like, oh yes, let's do this. And so someone called in and they left a voicemail, and so I'm going to play that for us right now.
We ain't heard this yet, by the way. All right, that ain't gonna work. So we're gonna go ahead and head to the YouTube comment section from our...
It says it's taking up space, but okay. So unfortunately that did not work out. So we will just go ahead and read some of the people. So y'all just started commenting in the comment section. I'm so single that, but send in your voicemails, people. Send in the voicemails. We want to hear from you.
Yeah. These are like homework assignments for How Married Are You? Send in your voicemails.
All right. She says, and she just left a whole bunch, so I'm just going to read it. I'm so single. I leave the door open when I use the bathroom in the middle of the night. I do it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so single. I yelled at myself in the mirror for leaving dishes in the sink. Now that's...
I only do that when I'm in the gym and I say, you already bald. You need to work out these muscles.
I'm so single. I go to work, then school, which takes up my entire day from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Yet I am up until 4 in the morning commenting on YouTube videos.
Wow.
Woo, child. Somebody help me. This is her leaving a comment on that video, which is so fun. Okay, guys, we love it. Please send in voicemails. I honestly didn't check the Anchor voicemail, so if you left in the voicemail on Anchor, I will get to it. I promise. All right.
Yep.
And babe, how married are you?
I'm so married that I needed to work a lot on Sunday, but instead of going to work, I went shopping for myself and the kids to try to help you not have to shop for the photo shoot that we have coming up. I felt like I was trying to be thoughtful there, and I was just like shaking my head the whole time while I was getting stuff, and I spent way too much time like, okay, this is cute, but Yvette won't like this and she doesn't want this, and I was just trying to be you in my head, and the whole time I was discouraged, shaking my head like she's not gonna like any of this, but I came home with the bag. Anyway,
You did good too.
thanks. How married are you, babe?
I have a list.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to decide which one I should use. Okay. So I had a Target drive up order that I was going to order, and I was like, hey babe, what do you need? Oh, I'm still married that. I had a Target drive up order, and I was asking Glenn like what are the things that he needed, and he said he needed a specific type of deodorant. And then I saw it and I was like, woo, I didn't realize this deodorant is this much money. He's like, oh, it's okay, don't get it. And he's like, whatever, I can use what I have. And I got it anyway.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it.
I know, it's still in a Target bag.
Thank you, babe.
So sorry.
That's very thoughtful.
And should we? Okay, sorry. And that's just how married we are.